Welcome to our event tonight. We are thrilled to have a wonderful program tonight with our partners from ESF from Norwood-Fontbonne Academy. My name is Ryan Killeen. Many of you may know me. I have the blessing to be president of Norwood-Fontbonne Academy and thrilled to continue our partnership with ESF summer camps and thrilled to have you with us this evening. So I think we'll just pause a moment as we make sure everyone's logged in, and then we'll kick things off. Again, if you're just logging on now, my name is Ryan Killeen, and I have the privilege of being president of Norwood-Fontbonne Academy in the Chestnut Hill neighborhood of Philadelphia. And for many years, longer than I've been at NFA, we've had a wonderful partnership with ESF summer camps. And we are thrilled to continue that partnership and so happy that you can join us this evening to learn more about NFA and especially about summer programs available on our campus. In a moment, I'll be passing things over to my colleague, Michael Rouse, to let you know more about ESF. But certainly as a school leader and a parent myself, I know how important it is to find a rigorous and exciting and engaging summer program for your kids so that they are having a wonderful, fun experience, getting to learn and develop as students, but especially being kids and having the experience of childhood. And I can tell you wholeheartedly that you are not going to find a better program for your child than you will have at ESF. And we certainly know that's important to us as a school to have that partnership and to continue that level of programming for our families. And I know many of those of you joining tonight are current NFA families or future NFA families. And we are thrilled that we can have this continued partnership. So without further ado, I give you Michael Rouse.
Thank you, Ryan. It's a privilege to be with you all tonight. And also we are really honored to be a partner of Norwood-Fontbonne Academy, a cherished school of ours who we've been partners with since 1991. So thank you for joining us. Tonight's agenda, we're going to be covering a number of things with introductions, why choose ESF for the summer. We'll be able to explain to you various camp options that we've designed, some award-winning programs for children of all ages. You'll learn a little bit more about our programs and additional information. Also some tips on how to enroll and also how to avoid the wait list. And then we'll have some Q&A towards the end of tonight's program. I'd also like to introduce a few of our panelists who will be with me tonight. Debbie Russo. Debbie is the Director of Programming and Operations, has been with us. You'll learn a little more about Debbie in a little bit. Susan Gambesha, who's our Director of Customer Engagement, and she handles everything behind the scenes in terms of wait lists and enrollment and how to register. And then Kim Watson is our Site Director, a superstar on site who makes camp so exciting and memorable for every single camper. So with that said, we're going to talk to you a little bit more about what we're doing in the summers and how we spend year-round really preparing for making each summer truly memorable, but also unique and different and relevant for your children every year. We have a few ground rules for tonight. You can see us, but we cannot see you. We are taping this, so we will be happy to send this available around to you in case you're not able to stay on for the entire broadcast. We will have a copy of this on our website as well as we'll be sending it out to everyone. And as we proceed through the presentation, feel free to ask any questions that you may have by going to the Q&A function in the Zoom. And we're going to answer as many questions as we can tonight. As you send us the questions, one of us, Susan, will be responding to you. And then we'll also gather a few of those themes and we'll be answering other questions for families at the very end. And also, we're very happy to follow up with you with any specific questions that you might have that may be directly relating to your child. And we'll be happy to call you tomorrow if you'd like to provide your name and your phone number. We'll be happy to do that. All right. So with that said, we can get started. So if you click the icon, which is the Q&A, you're going to be able to see where to propose your questions tonight. But I want to show you a photo from the blast from the past. One of our panelists is Debbie Russo. And Debbie was our first site director at Norwood-Fontbonne Academy in 1991. We were able to dig up the picture just about an hour ago. And she also was ESF's first full-time employee. I remember I was just telling Ryan how as we were kind of being toured around by the principal at the time, the principal was trying to convince us that this should be a new ESF location. Now, keep in mind, we only had one location at that time, and that was at Haverford School. And I was still a young guy in my 20s, and I was a little hesitant about a second location, but we were at a place where we were thinking, yeah, we could do another one. And so as I was walking around the school, and the principal was telling me about the facilities and how this open space creative environment and how we've got, you know, this gym and all this great playground and these fields. I also said to her a comment to the point where, wow, I just wish you had a pool. And she said, oh no, we have a pool. It's behind our convent. You can use the pool. And I said, wow, I wish you had a director. And she said, oh my gosh, I got the greatest director for you. And her name is Debbie Russo. She teaches science here. She's been here for 6 years. And in fact, you need to hire her full time. And I was just telling Ryan, I said, what principal would ever want to tell their about an employee and want you to hire them full time? And so here I'm thinking, is she an underperformer that she's trying to give this woman a job or what? But no, we've been very fortunate to have Debbie on this team. She is very responsible for helping build ESF into what it is today. And today she's the director of marketing, and programming, and does all of our curriculum design. And Debbie's been responsible for opening up several ESF sites over the years. And in fact, it was only about maybe 6 or 7 years ago that she came back to be a master site director at Norwood. So Debbie, I don't know if you want to say a few words.
Thank you, Michael. Norwood has a very special spot in my heart. It was my first job right out of college. I went to St. Joe's and studied elementary ed, and I was so excited to get my first job at Norwood teaching science. And as Michael said, when they came to start the camp there, I was very excited to continue my journey in education, but also still be a part of the Norwood family by running the camps in the summer. So it was really the best of both worlds. And to this day, I still cherish my relationship with Norwood. And I was telling Dr. Killeen, every time I come to Norwood's campus to meet with him or his team, or in the summer, it feels like I'm home. So Norwood is truly a very special place that stays in your heart. So hopefully you'll get to find that out as well.
Debbie, it looks like your 8th grade picture, though. I mean, were you in 8th grade when that picture was taken?
That was 1991. Yeah.
So for everyone,
I was 10.
who's in the older category that's on this Zoom, this was the years of Pat Benatar, Dr. Killeen. So obviously a lot of people would cut their hair, but this is Pat Benatar right here. Those years, 90s.
It was growing in at that point though, so yeah.
It's a classic look.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know you've opened many camps, but we know which one's your favorite, Debbie.
That's right. That's right.
It's your favorite.
Yes.
So thank you, Debbie. So to explain to you a little bit about ESF's impact, we'll show you just a few things of why ESF. Why would you want to consider ESF? Well, first of all, why Norwood? Norwood is an exceptional learning environment where we were very fortunate to, over the years, to have been approached by many private schools around where Norwood-Fontbonne is. But there's only one Norwood, and there's nowhere else we'd want to be. Not just because of this incredible campus that just makes learning fun, but just the people and also just the design, and to have this open space classrooms, an environment to be able to do some really cool things for kids is really important. And we've always really cherished the fact that our camps at Norwood sell out every year, and are highly anticipated during this time of year with early bird. And there's many other campuses in the area with bigger campuses and lots of kids, but in the summertime, everybody comes to Norwood, and it's pretty special, and we take great pride in that. And it really has a lot to do with making people happy. And so we really track the results. The surveys is our report card, and we're constantly asking our families, how can we get better? Have we made an impact? What else can we do to improve? And so we're always self-developing. And so, these are our stats for 2023 that we really take very seriously. And the most important thing is making sure kids are having fun and enjoying themselves. After a long school year, it's really important to bring out the best in kids. And we have this mantra called Max Joy that we'll talk about in a little bit. But, we really want to make sure kids are enjoying and learning and having fun. And for our parents, we want to make sure that we're exceeding their expectations. And then most importantly, with over 60 activities our campus will be doing, we want to make sure that we've increased their self-confidence to try new things. And so that's what makes us unique and different. And obviously, we want to make sure that children are always safe, and we feel like we're always raising the bar when it comes to that. And so as a result of that, we've won several different awards over the years, from Best Camp to Safest Camp in America from the Food and Allergy Network, to one award, which was the Play Award, the Champion of Play, which was from the Aspen Institute. And this is something that really, we're the only summer enrichment program in the world that ever received this, which was the designing play within learning environments, and the Aspen Institute picked us, which we're really excited about. So very fortunate to be named this. And when it comes to our mission, we're really focused on helping create the finest experience for anyone, and experiences that children will remember for the rest of their life. And we say we're in the people development business, and what makes us different from pretty much every camp is really, our staff is experienced and they're trained really well. Everybody goes through about 15 hours of training. We only bring back our best of the best. We rank our staff, and we evaluate our staff on a daily basis to look at who's the top performer, who's standard, and who's kind of an underperformer. And obviously, if anybody's ever unsafe, we remove them immediately. No cell phones are allowed by our staff during the day. And we take that very seriously, and everybody's in uniform. 20% of our staff were former campers, and they continue the tradition, which is wonderful. We're in the building of life skills business. We're trying to build that tool belt for success for kids. And obviously, after the pandemic, a lot of challenges have come from that. Lots of curveballs, from anxiety to social, anxiety, various challenges like that. And we're really helping our kids become the best version of themselves by building those strong character muscles, which is key. I've mentioned about the facilities at Norwood, which we love, the environment, the safety, and also just the welcoming feeling of being somewhere special. From the pool to the fields to the driveways to the various open space areas, it really provides us with this incredibly fun summer playground that allows us to accomplish all of our programming to the highest level, which was really exciting. In addition to that, we limit our enrollment, and as a result of that, we have an impeccable safety record, and then we have a staff at Norwood of over 70 people who are constantly, raising the bar, making sure that every child gets to know a new best friend and has the time of their life. And in addition to having an all-experienced staff, we have some incredible curriculum that is never the same every summer. New art classes, new science projects, new STEM related curriculum. Everything is relevant to today's youth, and everything is fresh and exciting to really challenge our campers. We also have some partners that are world-class that we have partnered with to develop curriculum. And they range from the Franklin Institute on the STEM side to Under Armour on the sports lab side. Nemours is our hospital of choice, which we have done a lot of our training with in terms of safety and health. Dartmouth, we are working with in terms of kind of summer enrichment on the curriculum side. The Philadelphia Phillies, we've been partners with for over 36 years. The 76ers for the last 4 years. The Youth Performance Institute and AMP for about the past 7 years. And 3 advisory subject matter experts. Dr. Munya Khanna specializes in anxiety in youth as well as OCD treatments. And Munya was a former staff member of ESF's when she was in college, and she is a leading researcher as well as an author and has done a lot of training with our executive team. Dr. Jim Lair, who is the legendary human performance coach who's coached 17 #1 athletes in the world in 6 different sports. He's also worked with Fortune 100 CEOs and also SEAL Team 6 and other military experts. And his entire methodology on high performance is all centered around character. And there's no woo-woo to this. It's really about developing character muscles of, purpose and resiliency and drive and these various different character muscles that we have brought into camp, which is the greatest place to learn about these muscles and also to utilize those muscles. And then Dr. Jack Becker, who is our chief medical director and also chief allergist for pretty much every allergist who's ever working right now. He's either taught them or coached them, and he's been amazing, and he's been on our team for over 25 years. So I mentioned that we were voted the safest camp in America about 7 years ago, which has every allergist on the East Coast referring people to our camps. And it has a lot to do with our standard operating procedures and how we train our staff. So if you have a child with a life-threatening allergy of any sort, we have a protocol that we go through to make sure that our campers are always safe. And we also have probably the lowest camper to adult ratio in the state of Pennsylvania. Most of all of our staff are all adults who are either teachers or undergraduate or graduate students studying education or nursing or some child-related industry. Every staff member, as I mentioned, receives a minimum of 15 hours of training. We rank our staff every year, and we do not invite back the bottom 20% of our team who are very safe but may have been average in performance. We always like to increase our level of performance by always trying to take out our bottom 20%, again, who are safe, but just to infuse new talent so that our standards always very high. We evaluate our team daily, as I mentioned, and then we have a very high percentage of our team members who return each summer, which 20% of them are former campers of ours. We have a number of things that we're able to have a lot of our character development pieces and that makes camp fun, and that is through traditions. And our traditions that we offer at camp are all centered around the research that Jim Lair has done, as I mentioned. And we really believe that, through the traditions, it really does help make these character muscles come alive, but also it's fun stuff that we'll be doing, from pep rallies to other things that kids are going to be thinking, man, I just love that. But also there's a purpose behind that tradition and why we do it. And so like a gratitude rock that every camper at the end of the day, depending upon whatever their age is, in the group that they're in, they will have someone who will be either giving or receiving the gratitude rock for the day. And that is not coming from an adult, it's coming from a camper, where a camper is catching someone else doing something really great and letting them know about how grateful they are for that, and which we call the gratitude rock. And so your campers will be starting to learn about this tradition on a daily basis, which will hopefully then spill home, where you're going to be able to do it around a dinner table or a breakfast table or a picnic, as a tradition that you'll want to start in your family. We also have some really fun traditions, which are, we have a camp mascot by the name of Captain Respectacular. He or she arrives at any time, one unannounced, and it is at some of the moments where camp kind of comes alive again. It could be a pep rally, it could be a morning assembly, it could be special announcements, it could be a moment where there is a delivery coming, of ice cream or popsicles, that because it's really hot out. It's moments like that that Captain Respectacular will arrive. And then we have our Spirit Stick and Oracle challenges, and depending upon which camp your child is in day camp, we have a Spirit Stick, in senior camp, it's an Oracle, and it's all centered around energy and having our campers do a big dance off in the morning during our morning assembly, or who's got the greatest cheer. These are different awards that they'll get, and that they'll be able to carry that Spirit Stick around as a group the entire day, or as a senior camp group, they'll carry the Oracle the entire day. So it becomes a big thing. That's like the Stanley Cup of that camp. And they are very proud of it. And there's certain traditions about that, you can't put it down the ground, things like that. It could rain the next day. So our campers learn all about that. Also, we have the Go Big Award, which is again given to campers who begin in gratitude, and it's given at our award ceremony on a weekly basis, and it's really for that camper who has really gone big, and they go big on a daily basis, where they always have gratitude in their life and they're always beginning in gratitude. There will be a leadership component as a tradition that every camper will have an opportunity to become, regardless of what group or camp that they're in. They'll have to earn it, but if they do, then they're actually starting to go down that leadership track, where in day camp, they would be called what a scout is. In sports lab, it's a captain, and in senior camps, it's an ambassador. And this is really where that camper is now becoming the leader of that group. And it's a big deal, and they'll start to learn about what being a leader is all about. And again, that is channeled throughout the group, where people will have an opportunity, and they'll also be coached by the counselor or the staff member, which enables them to really understand the importance of what leadership is. We also have some dance parties and pep rallies that just keep the level of energy going throughout the course of the summertime. Every day is a new day that has a ton of fun. Every day is designed and choreographed to really make it even that much greater, where kids don't want to go home. And a lot of our families at times will be in a car line, and they'll be coming to pick up their children. And when a child says, "I wish you wouldn't have come this early," that means, they can't get enough of it, which is really important. And then also, we take our car lines very seriously. About 20 years ago, we did a lot of benchmarking with the Disney organization, where we were able to work with some high-level executives, and we spent many years perfecting what they do really well, which is engineering traffic and quality training, and how do they hire, how do they fire, how they prevent any kidnappings from ever happening. We were very fortunate over the course of 10 years to learn it all. And when our families are able to, on their questionnaires, to say that that experience that my child just had was similar to what is like a Disney experience, that is a feather in our cap, because we really try to strive to provide an exceptional experience for our campers. So that's really important. And then another tradition that we take very seriously is our legends. So if a camper has been with us for 10 years or more, they get the official Legends jacket, which you can't buy it. Well, actually, you technically do, because you're with us for 10 years, but it's a free jacket that we give you. And it's a big deal. Our campers wear it with such pride, and we make a big deal about it at our family fling it towards the end of the summer, where those campers stand up. We make a big announcement. We'll usually talk about them, which they absolutely hate to hear. But it is a wonderful evening of great stories and a ton of respect and gratitude and honoring these exceptional human beings. And then we also have what we call our superheroes. And, one of the greatest things about teaching kids about character is, what does it mean? And so we've gamified it. And 2 years ago, we started to introduce the superhero cards, which are day campers and our mini campers, and a certain age group up until to our senior campers really love it. And we actually went one step farther this past year. And if you were a high performing team member who is coming back, we then have some of our staff members that actually have their own superhero cards as well. So again, it's given to our staff to use to catch kids doing great things. And then campers get a chance to actually get a card, and they collect them. And they've actually gamified it in their own currency, which is really fun. So these are just some of the people who are on our team that have their own superhero cards. We're hoping that Dr. Killeen will get his soon. I know he's thinking about who that superhero he would be, but no, we love it. And again, we work with kids. We're in the people development business, so we make it fun. So I'm going to turn it over to Debbie now, who's going to actually walk you through our programs that we are offering at Norwood-Fontbonne Academy this summer in 2024. Take it away, Debbie.
Thank you, Michael. Okay. So at ESF, we love to say that our campers grow up ESF. We have something for every age and every interest. And we love nothing more than to have our campers start with us when they're little and stay with us until they are outgrowing our camp programs, but then they stay on and become our young leaders, which is equivalent to a CIT type program where they learn how to be a counselor. And then hopefully they'll work with us. And we have many examples of campers who have gone through all of our programs and now are working with us. As Michael said, about 20% of our staff are former campers, which is so exciting because they've grown up, they understand ESF, they love ESF, and they bring that joy and that sense of tradition and excitement to our campers, which is amazing. So we start as young as 3 with our mini camp program, and these are little babies, preschool and pre-K. And what's so cool about that is it is their very first camp experience. And for some of them, it's really their very first experience, being in a community setting, because we do start with rising preschoolers. And then we have our day campers who are K through 2nd grade. And I'll talk a little bit more about each program on the next slides. Senior camp is for rising 3rd through 8th. And we have a very big ceremony that we celebrate when our campers, it's called the moving up ceremony, when our campers go from day camp into senior camp. That's a very big rite of passage, and it's a very big deal for our 3rd graders. We have an amazing multi-sports camp for 1st through 9th grade. And with any of these programs that I just mentioned, your children can explore all of them, within the age parameter. So if a child wants to come to day camp for a couple of weeks and then explore sports lab or sports camp, they certainly can. Or if a senior camper wants to come to senior camp for a few weeks and then go over to sports camp, we encourage that. They try new experiences, they get to meet new friends. Sometimes they go to the different camps with their own friends. They travel together. But again, we have so much to offer for every child throughout our 10 weeks that we are at Norwood-Fontbonne. We also have a program called Bold Summers, which is not housed at Norwood, but it is for rising 11th and 12th graders. And we run that program in partnership with the Penn Medical School down at the University of Pennsylvania. And it is really an amazing program where young adults actually work side by side with doctors and learn everything about pre-med. And then we have our Young Leaders program, which I previously referenced, where our campers who are in rising ninth, well, actually 8th, 9th, and 10th graders, some of them go in at 8th grade, they learn how to be a counselor. They actually work with our counselors within the groups. They learn behavior modification tips. They work with our specialists and learn how to execute lesson plans with our specialists and help with prep. And they absolutely love this program. You don't need to be a previous camper. So if any of you know of a rising 9th, 10th grader who would enjoy this, they are welcome to come. It is an amazing experience for them, not only how to learn to work out with children, but also how to become a leader. We give a lot of professional development throughout the 4 weeks of this program as well. Okay, so if we turn to the next slide, we're going to talk a little bit more about what makes mini camp special and what makes day camp special. As I said, a mini camp program is really the first experience that a child's going to have with ESF and with camp. And we have a very low ratio for this program because the campers are very young. And then we have our day camp, which is K, first and second. Where the activities become a little bit more age appropriate. Both programs, the children learn how to swim every single day. We utilize the beautiful outdoor pool at Norwood, and they get lessons with certified lifeguards. And it's an amazing program. Kids who come in not knowing how to swim will definitely leave knowing how to swim after a couple of weeks at camp. They do sports, arts and crafts, science, nature, team building. They play at the playground. We also have a program called Imagination Playground. We do movement and mindfulness. The littles, we are very big believers in the power of play. So with the littles, we have something called Play Zone, where it's a combination of playing, water play, movement, singing, manipulatives, reading, story time, just a bunch of different things where the children really get to choose what they want to do and engage in play. As the kids get older, they do Gaga, which is a huge camp favorite. The kids are obsessed with Gaga. Archery, and as Michael talked about earlier, we have so many time-honored traditions, weekly theme days, which are a blast. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And we have every week, we have a bunch of special events. And Kim will tell you, she is the cheerleader of all of our special events. Our Wacky Wednesdays, you will see Kim dressed up as something different every Wednesday. We have Masquerade Day, Superhero Day, Disney Day, Back in Time Day, and every year we change the Wacky Wednesdays. But Kim is really someone who cheers on these traditions and is a huge powerhouse when it comes to our traditions and our theme days. Lots of fun.
Debbie, I'd just like to say we've had to ask Kim to dial it back a couple times. He gets so into it. Let's just say mummers on steroids.
Yeah, you will see Kim at Carline. You will see her every day, and she's a powerhouse. You will love her.
Now I will just piggyback
Debbie.
off of that. It did feel like every time we had like a special guest on campus this year, it was on a Wednesday, and Kim would have to say, "I don't normally look like this." Like, no, but you are the great cheerleader of all fun at ESF camp. So that's wonderful, Kim.
Let's take a moment just to introduce Kim, because I know she's very quiet. We have to kind of warm her up. But Kim is our superstar site director who is electric on site at Norwood. And so, Kim, why don't you say hi and talk a little bit about yourself, which I know you.
That I don't like, but thank you, Michael. Yes, my name is Kim Watson. I've been with ESF full time for 8 years, and I've been at Norwood site director. This is going into my 3rd year, but I've been at Norwood's campus. I actually started as a lifeguard swim instructor. I've been an aquatics director, day camp director, assistant site director. So I've been around. Wacky Wednesdays have always been a thing, even when I was an aquatics staff member as well. So I do have a bin in my basement. Thank you, Michael and Debbie, of all the different days, because I never want to wear the same thing every year. So I got to change it up all the time. But yes, my name's Kim, and you guys will see me on site this summer.
And I won't say unfortunate, and she is a huge Swiftie.
She does like to dance.
There's a lot of dancing. Carline, I will say, Carline, if you're having a rough morning getting like your kid ready for like coming to camp, or if it's their first day, Carline, we make really exciting and fun. So lots of energy, lots of music, lots of dancing. It'll probably get you excited for the day as well.
Dr. Killeen, I think there was probably 4 or 5 Swifties who went to the Swiftie concert from Norwood, and they were parents, by the way, camp parents.
Yes, we have lots of Swifties at Norwood. But I will also say that, so the car line actually traverses past our 2 convents on campus. And I have caught the sisters kind of bopping to breakfast when Kim is out there at Carline dancing around. So we all get in, it's contagious. You can't not get into the fun that is ESF camp.
And for all the non-Swifties out there, which is me, there's a lot. The music selection is very eclectic, so you're definitely able to. Even Pat Benatar's in that rotation. So
Oh yeah,
it meets and exceeds everybody's level of music interest.
definitely.
Alright,
Thank you guys. Okay. So we will now turn to the next slide, and we will talk about our senior camp. So and sports lab. So as our children move up from day camp into senior camp, it's for 3rd through 8th graders. You know, they're at an age now where they start to want a little bit more choice in their programming. And we give them a daily elective period where every day we have a wide variety of different things that they can choose from for their elective period. And it's something they really, really love. In addition to electives, they also do recreational swimming every day. We have something called True Life Adventures, where each week the theme of the True Life Adventure changes. So one week they might do cooking the entire week. And this year they absolutely loved it. We did all things summer. We did smoothies and salads, and we made nachos and just all kinds of fun kid-friendly food. And they absolutely, I think they liked eating it more than they actually liked making it, but the cooking program is huge. We do a great big tie-dye week. We do a STEM week. We do a water rocket week. So every week it's something different. We also have a tradition, a gentleman named Gerald Bennett, who has been with ESF, you know, for over 20 years. He has been one of our master teachers. He does a digital music production week, which is a huge tradition at Norwood, and the kids absolutely love him. And then there's a show at the end that we invite our families to come and cheer our kids on and listen to the music that they've produced. We do art. We have sports, something called Team Quest, where Senior Quest, where they focus on team building, leadership. We do community service projects. So a lot of amazing things in senior camp. Our multi-sports camp, which we call Sports Lab, is for rising 1st through 9th graders. It is in partnership with Under Armour, and the campers learn and play 8 different sports: basketball, baseball, soccer, flag football, lacrosse, swimming, European team handball, street hockey. In addition to learning and playing the sports, they also practice the Under Armour methodology of training and conditioning, which is something we're really proud of, and the campers really learn and grow from, and set them up really for success in their athletic careers, whatever
Deb,
that might be.
Deb, can I just add a few things?
Absolutely, yeah.
This is a one-of-a-kind program that we're really proud about, that we've been running for over 30 years. For one, because it's a sports camp, it's a multi-sports camp, and in today's youth, they're being told that you should play one sport and you should play that one sport year-round, and that is the absolute worst methodology that anybody could ever learn, because with all the subject matter experts that we have, from the Jim Lairs of the world to the Nomura's people to Dr. Munya Khanna, to be well-rounded, you can't play one sport. And to learn and to have self-confidence in yourself, you got to learn at a young age many sports. And what greatest place to do it is in summer camp. And so what we do at this multi-sports camp is we introduce all 8 sports, like Debbie said, to your child. They don't need any equipment except for their baseball glove on certain days. And they're playing and learning 2 different sports every day. And so that our goal is by middle school, your child can then start to feel comfortable about which sport they really love. And they've tried them all. And that you'll see by middle school, they may be trying out for different sports because they love it. And that's the key. And that cross-training, that fun learning about that new sport, then at the same time to have a little bit of competition that's wrapped into each day. It's a ton of fun, and that is for the child who's interested in learning different sports, but it's also for the child who may live, eat, and breathe sports. It's a camp for children who really love to be active, and there will never be a dull moment. We have one very serious tradition at this particular camp, which is called the World League Championships. And Norwood has won the World League Championships. Out of the 27 or 28 years we've been doing it, they've won it over at least 50% of the time. And this is where we have different locations from Greenwich, Connecticut down to Baltimore, Maryland, that have competed in the World League Championships. And Norwood has been victorious 50% of the years of those 27 years. And so it's pretty amazing. It's a big deal. It's for some of our campers, it's the first travel team that they've ever been on. And it's about serious fun and learning. And so it's a program that we're really proud about, and that it's one of a kind.
Thank you, Michael. Okay. And as I mentioned previously, our Young Leaders Program for our 9th and 10th graders. Again, our campers, and you can turn to the next slide. Our campers our young leaders do not necessarily have to be previous campers. And really any child this age who has an interest in working with children, it's a really good developmental program. It is 4 weeks only. But we do encourage the campers to come for 4 weeks, because they form, all our YLPs form a cohort, which is really nice, because they're learning together and they're working together, and they really form strong bonds with each other, because they work on special projects each week, whether it's working on the camp carnival with the littles, or mentoring with the littles and reading them stories, or another project we might give them is come up with a really fun morning assembly that they are going to run with our day campers. And there's so many other projects that we give them. There's some community service stuff that they work on with our senior campers. And as I mentioned previously, they work with our teachers, and they learn about, what is a lesson plan? How do you prepare? How do you set up your classroom for a group of children that are coming in? So I know when I was this age, I wanted to be a teacher so badly, and something like this would have been amazing for me. It would have been such a good stepping stone, just being around children and working with teachers and learning how to do all that. So it's a great program. The young leaders also get shirts. They get their own shirts. They're navy blue, as you can see here in the picture. They wear that every day, so that they are identified by not only the campers, but by our staff members. as young leaders. So everyone really, everyone on the team knows why they're there and really pitches in and helps develop them. So it's a great program. So hopefully your children or some of your nieces, nephews might be able to experience that. Okay. And just, for any of you who are on tonight who are alumni, we will just touch on some of the things that are new for this year. So, Michael previously mentioned that every year we change up our curriculum. We have new lesson plans, new themes. We have the new Wacky Wednesdays, which we talked about previously, new special events, new art projects, new service learning opportunities. We have some traditions in day camp. We like to do a lot with rite of passage. So when you're in first grade and the kids really look forward to these things, they get to go to the Stars, Stripes, and Sprinkles ice cream party. And this is an after camp event. And it's a really big deal for them to not go home at, the end of the day and to stay after. We do for our second graders what's called a sleep under. So it's all the excitement of a sleepover, but they don't actually sleep over. But they do all fun like sleepover party events, and they make ice cream and eat ice cream and, decorate pillowcases, and they just play games. It's a lot of fun. Our multi-sports lab campers, as Michael mentioned, we have our biggest tradition is our World League competition, where they actually will travel to another location and compete with campers from other sites, ESF sites. And what I'm so proud of about World League is that while the kids are there and they're competing, really that day becomes all about fun and friendship. And the kids play the same kids every year, so they get to see friends that they met the previous year during World League competition, and they eat lunch together. It's not about I'm from Norwood and I'm from another ESF camp. They're just all friends and they're all kids, and it's really an amazing experience. And we do that twice during the summer with a final championship. We have tournament days each week, whether it's NBA day or NFL day or any other NHL day, where they actually, on NBA day, they'll come in dressed in their favorite baseball team, and NFL day, they'll come in dressed as their favorite football team. So they get to dress up in sports related fun, theme days. And then we have tournaments within that sport that day. For our older kids, we piloted this program, but we're going to go a lot deeper this year for our older campers, our 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. Our ALT program. It's our advanced level training, which is rooted in Under Armour's Fitness for Life approach and their fitness methodology, which is to move better, to move faster, to move stronger, and move longer. And each day we literally dive into one of those 4 areas each week. And we have different drills, different activities where, the kids actually learn how to move better, faster, stronger, longer. And we really teach them how to make this an approach for their life, not just, the weeks they're at camp. Senior camp, each year we have new TLAs, new electives. We have a big senior camp showdown, which is a huge event, a tradition at senior camp, where it's a week-long competition where strength, speed, critical thinking, teamwork all combined with all different activities that they do throughout the week, whether it's obstacle courses or a camp-wide relay or trivia contest, you name it, they do it. They have a blast. It's something they look forward to. New theme weeks, new Wacky Wednesdays, some of our after camp events for senior camp. Every year we do a Great American Picnic. We do a Surf's Up Beach Bash, will be new this year. And for our oldest campers, we also have a sleepover, which Kim will tell you is a blast, a huge tradition, and they actually do stay over. It's our oldest senior camp group. And again, that is something they live for, they look forward to, and it's a big rite of passage for them. And then every year we have a huge camp-wide event called Ultimate Games. And it's our version of Color War, but we call it Ultimate Games, where the entire camp divides into green and blue. So some of you, if you have multiple children coming to our camp, Some of your kids might be on the green team and some might be on the blue. So that might be interesting at home as you're learning, you know, who's leading. And we also encourage, excuse me, our parents to get involved. So during Carline, it's hilarious because you will see families coming in with green and blue streamers on their cars. Their dogs will be in the front seat with green and blue bows in their hair. It's hilarious. So the families get into it. It's a blast and something we really look forward to. And then for my portion, last but not least, I'd like to talk about, actually, I'm going to have Kim talk about our aquatics program because she is our in-house year-round aquatics person. She is all things swimming and all things aquatic. So Kim, I'm gonna let you talk about our how we make a splash at the pool.
Perfect. Thanks, Deb. Yes, like Debbie said, I actually have been a lifeguard since I was 15. So a long time now, but our aquatics program, I will say, is one of the best. So even if you're there for 1 week or if you're there for all 10 weeks, our goal, so every staff member, every lifeguard that we have is a certified lifeguard through American Red Cross. So they're all certified, as well as an aquatics director and an assistant aquatics director. So the entire pool staff is also certified. And then myself as the site director, I am also certified. So there's multiple directors at the pool throughout the time. We do only have one group swim at the time. So our pool over at Norwood is 3 feet on either side, 4, and then 5 in the middle. So for our day campers, they get instructional swim lessons Monday through Thursday. And then on Friday, we like to call it Free Swim Friday, but the lifeguards are in the pool with them. It's kind of just a little bit more fun in the pool for them on Fridays. And then we also have individual instruction as well. So our ratios are very small. It's about a 1-to-2 ratio for instructional swim lessons for our mini and day campers. For Monday through Thursday. And I will say, like, if your kid does not, I know one of the biggest question is my son or daughter does not know how to swim. We do not use any sort of flotation devices. We test them on Monday, the first day, and put them in the appropriate level. So that's the aquatics director and assistant aquatics director's role, is in terms of making sure they're at the right level. And then at the end of each week, you will receive a report card and like awards and progress reports that will be sent home to you, just to let you know how your child is doing at the end of the week and how they are for lessons. So one of the other option is, if you wanted to do, we also offer private swim lessons after camp. So if that's something you wanted to do, we do offer that as well. But I will say, even starting with ESF, having one person never being super afraid of the pool, by the end of the week, we have them at least like learning how to float on their back, very structured over at the pool. And there's always a lifeguard up, as well as an aquatics director and directors walking around the pool. Deb, do you have anything else to add? I know talked
that's amazing. Absolutely. No, we take swimming very seriously. It's a life skill that we want to make sure that every child that comes through our program leaves at least being proficient in the pool. And it's you know, something that I've watched Kim and her team in action, and they do an absolutely incredible job. It's incredibly safe, fun, and the kids learn. That's a great outcome. Thank you, Kim.
Like to add, I really do feel like our swimming program is the best around for 2 reasons. One, it's the methodology. We are teaching kids at their age, at their level, not their age, at their level. So your child will not be placed in a group with other kids their same age and ability. They are actually with whatever level that they're at after we water safety test them. Then there's a personal relationship with that instructor. And our job is to really help them learn how to swim. And for kids who've never swam before, they will be learning how to swim, sometime average around 2 weeks. And I say that because I've got 3 children, 3 boys who've learned how to swim at ESF, not with private lessons, but with ESF camp. And so I'm a proud user of that opportunity. And my kids are 10 now, 9 and 6. And to be able to watch them swim across any size pool now is pretty awesome. And so we are very proud of our swim program and what we're able to accomplish in the pool.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, so I would like to turn it over now to wrap it up with Susan Gambesha. Susan is our Director of Customer Engagement. So Susan, you can take it from here.
Susan, can I add one thing to the aquatics thought? So I think one big thing just about ESF and our aquatics program is once they are placed in that group at the appropriate level, they are with that same instructor throughout the entire summer. They're there for 2 weeks or out there for 10 or just one. They're with the same instructor throughout that entire week of camp that they're there. We try, if you're there for multiple weeks, that we try to make sure that you're with the same instructor each time, because that relationship that the lifeguards build with each of your campers is they will build the success in terms of teaching them how to swim.
Great. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Debbie. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us this evening. As Michael introduced me earlier, Susan Gambesha here. I work behind the scenes at ESF headquarters in Bryn Mawr and lead a great team of people that work tirelessly behind the scenes on the camp enrollments. So this slide is all about our Club OT program, which is our extended day services. We at Norwood start our Club OT program as early as 7:30 a.m. We stay as late as 6 p.m. This program really gives parents and families the opportunity to have that extended day they need for those working families who need the extra coverage before 9 and after 3. The program itself has chock full of nuts, if you will, of activities. The campers are divided into groups by age, and there's a combination of outdoor activities, indoor activities, and after the camp day is over, the children transition into a snack period before they go into their activities. We do require the Club OT services to be pre-registered. There are no drop-ins, so we can be staff appropriate to the number of children that we're going to serve from week to week. And it looks like we're going over to the optional lunch menu. This is a sample of our menu. The optional lunch program is available to our families, and it really does give families that break, if you will, gives parents a break from having to pack their child's lunch. This menu is available in the spring. Our marketing team does a great job on laying out from week to week all the options that are there for you if needed. And again, that's available in the spring, probably around April or the end of April. As enrolled families, you'll receive a notification when the menus are ready to preview. And this is a week-to-week option. So we do not have a daily lunch option. It would be from week to week. And then we're going to talk about some of our easy ways to enroll. So again, I mentioned we're behind the scenes here at our headquarters location, and we've had quite a busy couple of weeks since we opened enrollment. We are still in our early bird season, so now is the best time to enroll. If you haven't enrolled already, please take advantage of the special savings that come along with the early bird season. They are the best rates, the maximum savings. The way to enroll, if you haven't already, is easily to going to our esfcamps.com website. You select the Chestnut Hill Norwood-Fontbonne location, and you curate your cart. If you have multiple children, it's a very easy experience to go through to build out your child or your children's summer plans from week to week based on their interest. And then along the way, as you're building it out, we do have some help along the way, a phone number to call, an email to use. If you need any help through the process, we have a great group of camp specialists here to help you all the way. Just a reminder, early bird ends January 8th at midnight. The early bird rates are on our website, and you have a pay in full option to receive additional savings. The Club OT, as we talked about earlier, the extended day services are available as an add-on. So after you select your child's weeks at camp, you can add on those services attached to the week. Then we also have a Club OT promo that is part of our early bird. So that would give you an additional savings as well. There's a coupon to use at checkout for that. 6 or more weeks per camper provides additional savings. There's a multi-week, very favorite savings program by our families over the years. The more you go, the more you save. It's that simple. And then, of course, the sibling discount and a referral program. A referral program is also one of our family's favorite ways to save. When they refer a family who enrolls, they receive credit towards next season's registration. It's a great way to build referrals and share your enrollment with friends, families, and neighbors.
Since enrollment opened last week, we've experienced an unprecedented response from and anticipate really certain age groups filling up earlier than it originally anticipated for specific camps. So I know that many parents ask, when do you fill up? And so I think this next slide is really important.
Great, thank you, Michael. Yes, as far as wait lists, do we have wait lists? Yes, sure thing. And especially at Norwood last year, we did have unprecedented number of wait lists to manage to. So that's why we also encourage our parents to sign up early, secure your spot. It is first come, first serve, and we are limited. So we do encourage your families to sign up as early as possible. Don't miss out. We wouldn't want your families to be on the wait list. So hopefully we'll see your name. If you're not on there yet, we'll see your name soon on our rosters.
Great. So thank
Michael,
you.
I'll kick it back over to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So just to give you some clarity on how to contact us, feel free to email us anytime or give us a call at 215-247-7010. You can scan and learn more about our programs by scanning this code to your right-hand side. You can follow us on social media at ESF Camps on Facebook and Instagram at ESF Camps. And feel free to call us anytime with any specific questions. We'd love to learn a little bit more about your child, about their interests, about something that they may want to learn about. And we could tell you if this is the right camp for you. We are very fortunate to have multiple programs at Norwood, where it's a one for all for one kind of place. We actually have multiple programs which allow campers to either go a mile deep into an area that they absolutely love, or a mile wide in many different activities, which then spans the globe for them on trying new things, which is really important. And our job is to really make sure that their summer continues to be relevant and exciting and fun, where they're going to meet their new best friend and they're going to learn some really incredible things that'll complement the school year that they've had, and it'll get them ready for beyond school, where they're going to have a tool belt that they're going to be able to use for the rest of their life. So I want to turn it over now to some questions that we may have received. I know that one of the questions that was earlier on is, how do you find your staff? And I mentioned that 20% of our staff earlier is former campers of ours. So we've had the fortunate opportunity to have known many of our staff for a long time, since they were kids. But I will also say that we're one of the very few camps that actually recruits from education colleges, where there's undergraduate and graduate degrees studying special ed or child psychology or elementary ed. And for some of our staff members, they're actually getting credit towards their degree working with us as well. So they're not only getting the paycheck, but they're also getting evaluated. And so we're really fortunate to have an amazing staff, very dynamic, very experienced. And every year we actually have a big award ceremony where we're honoring what we call a master teacher or an Ichiban. An Ichiban is that person who's kind of the rising star, who's a college student, a counselor, a coach. And then those who are specialists are all teachers or directors, and they're all, with teaching degrees. And we have that role, which is called the master teacher. And so every year we're honoring, 2 individuals from Norwood There's usually 250 people at that event, and it's a big deal. And our staff is everything, and that is who has made ESF what it is today. So I know that's one question that someone had. Susan, is there any other questions?
Yeah, Michael, I think we did such a great job with the presentation, so detailed, but another good question is around visitors and safety protocols on visitors.
Yeah, so every day there's an open door policy. Parents, we don't have a parent day where we bring out the nice gifts or the special juice or the nice cookies. You have an opportunity as a parent to visit anytime. We would just ask for you to park your car, bring your car ID card, which is the camp identification that we'll be giving to you. And we would ask you to come in and check in at the camp office. And so you're welcome to see camp at any time. But visitors are always asked to be signing in at the front desk. All of our leadership is always walking around the campus with walkie-talkies. So a person will not get more than 3 feet before somebody's coming up to them to ask them how we can help them. And you're giving us a code word at enrollment, which would be for emergency purposes. If we're calling to double check because somebody is in car line asking to take your child home, but they're not actually on the list. No one's going home with anyone until they are checked, double checked, triple checked. So we take that, again, very seriously. It's something that we learned from Disney a very, very long time ago. And it's what schools have asked us to help teach them. So we've been able to do that, nationwide for schools over the years to just learn how to become more safe with people coming and going. And so we're proud to share that best practice.
Great, thank you so much, Michael. And lastly, a theme question is around the little ones, the 3- and 4-year-olds. Like how can parents be assured once they drop off? How can they communicate to understand what their 3-year-old is doing?
Yeah, so we've done this for 41 years. And usually for parents of a 3 or 4-year-old, leaving their child at camp can be extremely difficult. It's almost like it's that first day. And the great news is the sooner that our parents kind of come and go, the better, because I can assure you, doing this such a long time, that within 4 minutes, that camper will stop crying and they're starting to understand what camp's about, and they're fine. And we will call you if you're worried, so that you know that you can go to work and not ever worry. We have an open door policy. You're more than welcome to come and check anytime. But we work very closely with the parent who may be struggling more than the child is, in that first camp experience. And so whether that your child has never swam before, or this could be a new social environment or a new first, kind of thing out of childcare, and it's their first full day. This is a great training ground for getting them prepared for school, and to also to learn about that surrounding, new friends and new activities. And trust me, they will be very tired at the end of every day, because we're doing a lot of activities, and it's a ton of fun.
And Michael, on that note, I just want to also mention, we do give them a rest time after lunch, so that we don't make them sleep, but we'll do a little bit of movement and meditation. We'll do some story time, put the lights down a little low, just for a little bit, just to kind of give them that downtime. Because, we know some of the kids are still taking naps at that age. So we do give them some downtime right after lunch.
If I could just chime in as well. First of all, I've been so impressed with all the staff of ESF over the years, especially working with those youngest kids coming to campus. We're also proud that our campus is really designed for those youngest learners. Mm-hmm. So everything is really age appropriate for those kids to feel at home. And so they really make a wonderful transition. So many of our new families, that's how they start their time at Norwood, is during summer camp. So it's feel confident that your kids will be well taken care of. My kids are a little older now, but when they were ESF campers, I remember my daughter came home and said, they're all grown-ups. All the staff is grown-ups, which speaks to that they're really engaged, highly qualified, staff that really support those youngest learners. I also want to mention that we have a monthly open house, and Kim comes to the vast majority of those. We have one next Tuesday. So if you wanted to come see campus and meet Kim, she'll be there on the 5th, and you could log on to sign up for that open house. And we also have Fun Fridays, the first Friday of every month for those youngest kids, currently 2.5 to 4. So another time you could come to campus, meet our Director of Admissions, Erin Wallen, if you have more questions about learning about NFA or about seeing our campus and getting a preview. It's not quite as lush and green as it will be come summer, but it's a beautiful 13 acres nestled in the heart of Chestnut Hill.
Dr. Killeen, can you tell us the time of the open house on Tuesday?
Oh, it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock on
9
Tuesday.
a.m. Okay, great.
And most of them start at 9 a.m. But if we also are happy to schedule personal tours. And I know if you contact our friends at ESF, they could always put you in touch with us if it's easier than finding our website.
Absolutely. And we'll share that information when we send out the recording for sure with everyone.
And we love Norwood campers who actually use the campus year round. And we have a large amount of campers that are coming to camp year round, but we also have about 54 schools in the 7-mile radius that are sending campers to us at ESF at Norwood as well. So like we said, your child will have and learn a new best friend, and it's a wonderful place to learn that, have that new social relationship now. Just looking at the clock, we want to thank everyone. This has been a wonderful night. Hopefully we've answered all your questions. Again, if there's any questions whatsoever that come up after that you forgot to ask, feel free to give us a call. 215-247-7010 is our number. We're happy to answer any questions you may have. We do this year round. This is all we do, is focus on the summer. So you're more than welcome to call us during the day, and Susan, Debbie, or myself will be happy to talk to you about what ESF can do for your child or for your family. And I want to thank Dr. Killeen, Debbie, Susan, and our team, Kim in particular, for your time tonight, and for all of you who tuned in. We love what we do. We hope you will join us this coming summer for a summer to remember. And again, thanks for being with us. Happy holidays, and feel free to call us with any other questions you may have. Have a wonderful night.